This is James Holder for IFL TV in association with Scott's Menswear and Macklin's Gym Marbella. We're at the IBF World Title fight for Sean Porter versus Kell Brook. Kell Brook just being victorious in America in Carson. With me, I've got Kell's trainer Dominic Ingle. How are we doing, Dom?
Well, we're doing very good, aren't we, at the minute? It's all worked out. You know, Kell's won the belt. You know, how many people come to America and, you know, beat a fighter like Sean Porter? There's so many people who doubted Kell. You know, didn't think he was going to pull it off, that Porter would knock him out. You know, he wasn't in the same league. And the thing is, you know, I've known this kid, you know, Kell from being a kid. And, you know, I wasn't going to say I'd put my house on it because we're in America. I always said it was a 60-40 fight, but I expected Kell to win, and that's exactly what he did. He's got so much heart, that kid, and determination. Nothing phases him. It doesn't matter what's going inside in his head. He never shows it. And he's pulled it off. He's been in hard. You know, for me, he's been in harder fights than that. People underestimated Carson Jones when he boxed Kell. That kid was a good, tough kid, and it was probably the best thing that ever happened to Kell Brook because it made him switch on. And tonight, you know, all the hassle, all the hard work, all the ups and downs, the heartbreak, it's all been worth it. You know, for his family, I'm over the moon for Kell. It's been a lifelong dream. For his family who've stood behind him and, you know, pushed him all the way, you know, it's a fantastic feeling.
Having known Kell since he was 10 years old, 9 or 10 years old, from the very, very start of his career, can you tell me what emotions you're feeling right now?
You know, you can't put it into words, can you? He's just, you know, he's stuck at it so long. He's been you know, through some really dark places. You know, he's grown up over the last 2 years. He's 28 now. He's got a missus and a child, Nevaeh, and you can see him thinking almost, I've got to start doing it right because I've got a few years in this game, and I need to start earning some serious money. And now we will earn some serious money. He's put himself straight into the mix. You know, he's come to America. He's beaten an American fighter, and you know, I've got to go and watch the fight because from where I was I couldn't really see it, so I've got to go back and have a look at it. You know, Sean Porter's a scrappy fighter, but he's tough. There was heads going in, elbows going in, everything. You know, and we got the cut under control quite early on. Sean Porter's face by the end of the fight was a mess. So, you know, I'm just so pleased. You know, I'm pleased for Kell Brook and his mum.
Can you tell us what you were saying to Kell between rounds to keep him focused and to keep his head on the job?
We had a plan with Sean Porter. You know, a lot of people saying Kell's got to learn to fight on the inside. You never go and fight another fighter's fight. You stick to your own plan and make sure that you come in with your best game. You never see Floyd Mayweather, you know, adapting to change to anybody else. He does what he wants to do. And, you know, Kell Brook, I said to him, the first 4 rounds is going to be a firestorm. He's going to be on you like a rash. He's going to try and take you out your stride and make you lose focus, make you, you know, lose concentration and start bullying you. I said, when you get past those 4 rounds, you know, you're going to be in control, and that's exactly what happened.
Sorry to interrupt you. Do you think Kell's convinced all the doubters now with this emphatic victory over Sean Porter on American soil?
I'm sure there'll be other people. You know, there'll always be somebody. You can't please everybody. You know, but tonight, Kell Brook did what he said. He's fulfilled the prophecy. He's become the world champion on the first attempt. You know, and he's put Sheffield back on the map. He's put the UK back on the map with the boxing, and there's going to be some big fights down the line. Eddie Hearn can produce those fights. There's a lot. You know, the welterweight division at the minute is a hotbed. There's so many fighters, you know, you can make fights with. And,
how confident are you to put Kell in with some of these big name fighters?
Very confident. He's 28 years old. He's been doing this since he was 11 years old, boxing, competitive boxing. You know, I can remember when he was an amateur, he used to come in the gym. I used to train him, but we didn't take him to the amateur fights. We had an amateur coach who did that, and he'd just walk in after every weekend. Oh, I've won another belt, I've won another medal, I've won another title. All right, Kell, carry on then training. He just took it as read that that's what was going to happen. And tonight he's done the same thing. You know, I think a lot of people thought he was going to unravel, fold under the pressure on the big stage, but he didn't. He held it together, and he's the champion.
One of the biggest fights that could possibly happen in England would be Kell Brook taking on Amir Khan. How confident are you to put Kell Brook against Amir Khan if Eddie and the team could sort that out?
You know, Amir Khan's made a terrific name for himself in America. He made a good name for himself in England. He was in the Olympics. You know, I remember Kell at 19 years old wanting to fight Amir Khan, you know, back then. But, you know, his promoter then said, you know, there's not enough money in that fight. It's not a big enough fight. And almost, you know, 10 years later, that fight, if it happens, and I'm sure it will do because Eddie can do that, is going to be a multi-million-pound fight. It's going to be a classic fight, and you know, it's not a problem for me training Kell Brook to put him into that fight.
If I said to you Amir Khan or I said to you Marquez, which route do you think would be better for Kel? Which one would generate him more revenue?
Well, I'm in the lucky position as the trainer. I can just sit back and the only thing I have to worry about is training him, getting in the condition. But there's a big team around Kelbrook. You know, there's me, I train in boxing. We've got Alan Ruddock and the Sheffield Hallam University. You know, Dave Ember, strength and conditioner. We've had a guy called David Stacker in the past doing Kel's diet, getting him switched on. You know, when you see Kelbrook getting into that ring, there's a big team behind him. There's Eddie, there's his mum and dad. So, you know, for me, the easy part is just sitting back, concentrating on the boxing training, and let Eddie deal with the headaches, getting those big fights and talking the figures. You know, I've got the easy job, you know, training Kelbrook, because Kelbrook's easy to train. He's not an odd kid to train. So, you know, we'll sit back, savour the moment, you know, maybe go back to the hotel and have a glass of champagne, and then we're on the plane back to England, and you know, in Sheffield they'll all be turning out for him. It's a momentous occasion for Sheffield, this.
When the final bell went today, I do believe the first English judge gave the fight as a draw. Did you have concerns that maybe you would be the victim of a hometown decision tonight when that happened?
Well, to be honest, although I was confident Kel was winning the fight, I wasn't really in the position where I was sat. It wasn't a clear position to see the fight, you know, from a clear perspective. So, you know, I thought Kel had done the cleaner work all the way through the fight, and I wasn't really listening to the scores because I just thought he's going to win this anyway. So I didn't even realise that Dave Paris had given it a majority decision. Sometimes from certain angles at the ring, especially where you sat, you know, it can appear that way because maybe that's where the section of the ring where Sean Porter's doing most of the wrestling and holding, and you can't see the clean work. So, you know, we've got the win.
What world champion number is this now? What Kel from the Ingle Gym? What number is this you guys have had now?
Well, Nazim Amri was the first, Johnny Nelson was the second, Junior Witter was the third, and Kelbrook was the fourth. And you know, it's a fantastic achievement. You know, getting those champions is great. You know, Kel's seen the path all the way through. He knows that it's not beyond, you know, the realms of possibility to come over here and beat up the Americans, because Nazim Amri used to make a habit of it. Until he got complacent. So, you know, he's going to go down with those Sheffield fighters and Clinton Woods. Don't forget Clinton Woods, you know, from Sheffield, IBF champion, and actually Paul Silky Jones. So Sheffield has a really, really good mix. You know, I think we've had about 7 world champions in the past 20 years. So, you know, Kel's falling into line with all those type of guys, and it's a massive achievement.
I can't wait to see the response for Kel back in the Steel City. I'm sure people are going to be going absolutely mad for this.
Hopefully they will do.
Absolutely fantastic achievement for you, for Kel and the whole team. Thank you for a bit of time, Dom.
No problem.
Well done, sir.
Thanks.